Hey guys, welcome to the 65th C# tutorial that I'm making for New Boston. And in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to use Bitwise operators a little bit. So all you're going to need for this tutorial is a button and a short, and just set that short equal to 3 for right now. So in previous tutorials, we looked at bits just a little bit, but in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use bits just a little bit more. So in order to better understand bits, go ahead and open up the calculator, go to View, and change that to Programming. Now, as you can see right here in this panel, we have the different ways that we can represent numbers. We can represent them in hexadecimal, decimal, octal, which we're not going to get into, and binary. And we're going to be looking at binary for right now. And first, we're going to be looking at how to represent numbers in binary. So how would we represent a 1? Well, we're just going to go with decimal up here and type in a 1, and then go back to binary, so it'll convert it into binary. So a 1 in decimal is a 1 in binary. Well, how do we represent a 3? Because there's no 3 character in binary, there's only a 1 or a 0. So if we type in 3, as you can see, we get 1, 1. Well, we're going to be looking at the invert operator today. And what the invert operator will do is it will invert these bits. Or since there's only 2 ways you can represent them, in a 0 or a 1, it will invert them to whatever it's not. So since it's not a 0, it will convert it into a 0. And that's another thing that they call the invert operator. They call it not. So since this is not a 0, it'll convert it into a 0, and the same thing with this. However, in front of all binary numbers, there are a bunch of zeros. And the way to get the number of zeros in front of this number right here is find out how many bits there are in the number. And since we are working with a short right here, and there are a maximum of 16 bits in this number, we know that there are 14 zeros right here, because if we added these two, it would make 16. So since there cannot be any more bits, there must be 14 zeros right here. So if we were to use the invert operator, it would convert all of these zeros in front of here to 1s, and it would convert these 2 1s right here into zeros. And like I said before, since these zeros would not be a 1, it would convert them into a 1. So let's go ahead and use the invert operator, or the not operator, right here on this 3. In order to do that, you're just going to want to type out a little squiggle. And in order to do that, you're just going to want to hold Shift and go above your Tab key and click the key right there. There should be a little squiggle on it. Just hit that, and as you can see, we now have a squiggle. And like I said before, this will invert this 3. And since this is a 3 in binary, we'll just invert it, and we'll get 2 zeros and a bunch of 1s. So in order to view binary as a string in C#, we're going to have to use the convert.toString method. And then we're just going to want to first put the value that we want to convert into a binary string. We want to convert our short, or our inverted 3, into a string. And we have to put a comma right here and a second parameter that we're going to pass through. And we're just going to put a 2 right here. So it tells it that we want it to be in binary. So it should be only 1s and 0s. So now we're just going to display this value in a message box so that we can see what it did, or what it converted it into. So right here, we're just using the invert operation on this 3. So we should get 14 1s right here, and 2 zeros in a message box. Yep, 14 1s and 2 zeros. I'm not going to count the 1s. And you can do this with any number. For example, if you want to do this with a 5, put 5 there. Let's see what a 5 is in binary. Let's go to binary now. We get 1 0 1. So what it will do is it will convert these 13 zeros in front of this 1 0 1 right here all into 1s. It will convert this 1 into a 0, this 0 into a 1, and this 1 into a 0. So now in the message box we should get 13 zeros, or 13 ones, a 0, a 1, and a 0. Yep. So that's pretty much it for this tutorial. In the next tutorial, we're going to get into a little bit more bitwise operators because we only looked at one in this tutorial. So, see you guys.